Hello, humanity. I am Ama'RiAl. That's my divine presence's name. It actually means Mother Guardian of the Waters, according to the family of love and light. And my planetary name is Dr. Lilliana Corredor. I want to share with you who am I and what my process has been, because what I want to bring to your attention is that I have undergone, 33 years, but in actual fact, 25 years of inner healing of my soul wounds, with the assistance of what I refer to as the Emissaries of love and light. Let me start by saying that I was an atheist. Start by the beginning. After I was molested by a Benedictine bishop and I broke his finger and got him, with my mother, deported from Colombia it was the first public case of a Catholic bishop sexually molesting a child. So after that, I became a total atheist. So please do not think that I'm selling you any type of mystic trip, because I am not. The family of love and light, the emissaries of love and light with whom I work, which is like over 60 of them, not 12, like most people, some people are saying out there that there's only 12 masters that are overlighting the evolution of humanity. Not in my experience, I'm sorry. In the 25 years I've been working with them, I have been taught and trained by them, and they have assisted me in all of my healings. Without them, there's no way I could be in my present state of self-realization. There's no way I could have done it without their assistance. And so, to me, the emissaries of love and light are sentiences, beings of a very high level of consciousness who overlight the evolution of humanity and of many other souls elsewhere in this and other universes. So each one of them has a gift, a specialty, and they offer that gift in divine service with unconditional, enormous amounts of love for free. So you can either keep on going to your psychiatrists and psychologists and pay a fortune for it, which is very useful. Trust me. I have been, for 7 years, I ended up going to a psychiatrist and a psychologist to assist me as where to bounce the ball. As I told them from the get-go, you're not gonna be able to heal me. Only I can heal myself. Of this I'm perfectly aware. However, what I'm asking you is to be the net. Like in a circus, when you're swinging from one trapeze to the other and there's a net underneath, a safety net. I said, well, I feel like I'm swinging there and I'm in midair, and the reason I came to you is that in case I fall, I would like to have a supporting net, okay? If I drop. How did I end up there? I ended up going myself voluntarily, go figure, to a psychologist and a psychiatrist, because I went to a doctor and I told him I want to stop smoking. Do you have anything that can help me? And he said, yeah, Champix. Are you paying attention? Never, ever, ever touch Champix, which is supposed to help you stop smoking. Little did I know that what it did was it wrecked my neurotransmitters, and all my neurons went into firing, and my mind I had the worst years, 2 years of what you call the dark years of the soul, not the dark night of the soul, but the dark years of the soul. What these chemicals did was, and I'm very grateful for it, this is why I didn't sue the company, because what they did was they triggered a lot of memories. And I would have flashbacks, PTSD, complex PTSD, flashbacks of horrific things that happened to me when I was little. I say horrific according to the definition of the psychiatrist and the psychologist. They said, what happened to you was horrific. And I said, was it? It seemed perfectly normal to me at the time. It didn't feel good, but I didn't see it as horrific, just that's the way things are. So anyway, I started having flashbacks with colors, smells. I was back reliving every single segment of my childhood and my adolescence, where I was repeatedly molested. I was raped once when I was very young, etc. And the domestic violence at home. I had the most fascinating father, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, who was a military man, which means a psychopath and a sociopath. And he had two sides. He could be extremely loving. He adored me, and he was the sweetest, most tender human being. And then he could turn around and be the cruelest, nastiest, meanest, destructive person. And to me, since I was 2 years old, I started observing behavior of my parents, behavior of my siblings. I was sibling number 6. I was the youngest, so I had a lot of examples in front of me of the impacts of what a traumatic childhood can do to you. Anyways, so I started going to those psychiatrists and psychologists while still working with the family of love and light. I needed an outside, not just an inner support system, which was the most divine support system I had from the family of love and light, but I needed somebody outside of me that I could talk to and I could get some feedback. And just to let it out. So yeah, that was very intense process and very helpful. However, the inner guidance is the one that actually heals, assists you in your healing. Going into meditation is the only way. Merging with your I am presence, with your higher self, call it whatever you want. The divine presence, the I am presence. That higher consciousness that you are, that is one with all that exists. And that I am presence is the one that gives life to your soul, to your bodies, is the energy that keeps that heart pumping, is that energy that keeps the electroencephalogram happening. Without that vital energy, you're dead. That's how it happens. That's how you die. That's how you know you're dead. When that electromagnetic energy that keeps you alive gets disconnected. So then I started being visited by different entities, different sentences, different beings. Some were Ascended Masters, then Archangel Michael, which I never believed in, may I add, turned up and he said, "Beloved, I'm Archangel Michael." And I said, His energy is so divine. I have been working with him every day ever since for 25 years. I adore him. I want to show you Michael here for a minute. That's my Michael. Anyways, so he said, "Beloved, do you mind if I train you? It's really important that you learn to observe your thoughts and to master your thoughts." And I said, "Okay, what do I do?" He said, "Just spend a few days, send Shanti to be with her father," which we co-parent, so it was very handy, "and just start drawing or do something that is silent. No radios, no music, no TV, nothing. Just be with yourself and draw or something and pay attention to your thoughts. And every time you have a discordant thought, a fear-based thought, I will tap you on the shoulder." What was interesting was that at the time I used to be convinced that I was the most optimistic person, that had lots of positive thoughts. Hello. So this is something that I suggest everybody does. Ask him. Archangel Michael can work with billions of people all at the same time, believe me. And so if you ask him to train you, to help you train your mind and become aware of your thoughts and your emotions and your words and your actions, he will do that. Be careful what you ask for. And I didn't ask for anything. He offered and I said, "Okay, thank you very much." So then I started drawing. I had never drawn really. But I was sharing my little flat with a lady that was an artist, and she gave me these big papers and lots of watercolors and other things to paint with. So while she was at work all day, I stayed in my cave. It was literally almost like a cave for days on end, drawing and paying attention to my thoughts. And it so happened, and he said, every time I tap your shoulder, it's like if your thought is like a pigeon and you see it fly, just grab it and send it to the light. So I said, okay. So I did this. Constantly. Oh my God. By the end of the day, I said, can I just not lift my arm? My arm is falling off. It's hurting so much. And he was cracking up laughing, because one thing that you can be sure these emissaries of love and light have is they're very joyous. Joy is a trademark of being a master. Joy is the foundation of love. I mean, and they have the most exquisite sense of humor, and sometimes a pretty, what you would call a dark sense of humor. And he was just cracking up laughing, and he said, okay, you go like this. I said, okay. And I was shocked to see what an amount of negative thoughts I had. My mind was working on 16 channels. Despite my daily meditation of 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour at night, which I was training all those 16 channels to come into one and focus like a laser beam, one single channel of perception, of thought. And so that's how I started my training. He had me doing this for 6 months. It was wonderful. And then, so I learned, and this is one thing that you'll find in our website that I suggest is tips on how to help yourself, is pay attention to your thoughts. Your thoughts are vital energy that create your reality when they're powered by your emotions. And most of the time, or if not all the time, a thought is followed or goes in with an emotion, and it's the emotion that puts it into a creation state, your thought. So then I was trained to pay attention to the thoughts, the ensuing emotions, and then to pay attention to what were the words, the behaviors, and the actions that were triggered by my thoughts and my emotions. So I learned to take stock of what I was generating as energy, because the whole idea was to bring my energy to be in the highest resonance of love, the highest frequency of love, instead of being in the lowest frequencies of fears and discord. So that was my training. Then I went through, meaning I received the assistance of, every year in the past 25 years, I had a different council of emissaries of love and light that would look after me and train me for a year, or until I was ready to go to the next level. And like that, I went from one group to another, to another, to another. And this is why I have gone through work with so many masters, ascended masters, archangels, Elohim, and some angels. Not a lot of angels. I have worked with the angels of the blue flame that work with Archangel Michael, and the angels of the violet flame that work with Saint Germain, the angels of transformation. And then in the past 2 years, the seraphim started working with me in the healing of the deepest wounds of the soul, because they're the ones that actually help lift the false energy matrix, because we create false energy matrix. We create them, and assist me to lift them once I have improved and increased my quotients, my levels of love, wisdom, and power to a high enough level so that they can actually transmute that intense level of fear, which is in the first and second frequencies, the maximum fears. Those are where our deepest soul wounds lie. So in order to transmute a soul wound, okay, let me start from scratch. What is a soul wound? A soul wound are our soul memories, discordant soul memories, fear-based soul memories. I was explained early in the game, 25 years ago, by the great divine director of the karmic board. He introduced himself as such. I'm repeating, he said, who you think you are is false. Who you appear to be, to yourself and others, is but the accumulation of soul memories, of memories of your soul, meaning all the energy used by your soul throughout its evolution is imprinted in your bodies. And I start again. And then he explained that every thought, every feeling, every word, every behavior, every action is energy in motion. And that energy creates, and that energy not only creates, but has consequences. So if your soul throughout its evolution used its energy in a loving way, that leaves a record. And if it used its energy in a discordant, fear-based way, that leaves a record too. That's what we refer to as the Akashic records, actually. It's like a bank account of debits and credits. And so all that energy cannot be lost. Energy can only be transformed. Cannot be lost. Physics will tell you that. So what happens is that, what they explained to me is that your soul has always been in oneness with your I Am presence, with all that exists, with the unified field of consciousness, with God, Goddess, if you will, with Source, with everything that exists. However, it is since the time that your soul chose, listen to the word, chose to experience the state of separation, chose to experience duality, good and bad, black and white, fear and love. Since that moment in which your soul chose to experience separation up until now, this now moment, every energy expenditure of your soul throughout its life cycles, many life cycles, in many planets, universes, timelines, forms, realms, and levels of consciousness and dimensions of existence. So who you are today is the accumulation of all that information. So there's the good, the bad, and the ugly. That bank account of credits and debits. So your personality is an expression of your soul memories. However, as they also explained to me, as I work with more and more masters and more teachers and angels and archangels and the Elohim, what happens is that your soul came to believe, be certain that it is in separation from God, Goddess, from Source, from Spirit, from the unified field of consciousness, from the family of love and light, from Earth, from humanity, and within itself. So, the soul then acts out all this stuff and has discordant thoughts, discordant feelings, discordant emotions, discordant behaviors, destructive behaviors, and discordant actions. And this is what you are witnessing nowadays on Earth. So here we come to the now moment. This is the interesting bit. So after 25 years of doing my own inner work with the family of love and light, and with the assistance of some psychologists and psychiatrists, and studying a lot of books on, like Gabor Mate, The Myth of Normal, for example, I have come to understand a lot of stuff about behavior, about human behavior, and what my own behavior and humanity's behavior. So what you're witnessing on Earth today, do you like it? I bet you don't. How do you feel about the genocide in Gaza? Oops, sorry, no. For those that are pro-Zionist, may I change? How do you like the self-defense of Israel against Hamas in Gaza? Liking it? I bet you don't. In fact, what we're witnessing is but a reflection of our own collective consciousness. So what this book that I am publishing, most of it is published in this website that I'm asking you to please visit, called Embody High Consciousness, is messages from emissaries of love and light to get you accustomed to some of the emissaries of love and light. There's Archangels, there's Elohim, there's Ascended Masters, masculine and feminine Ascended Masters. So that these messages help you understand the different wounds, the different soul wounds of humanity that 99.9% of humanity carries, which are responsible for what we are witnessing on Earth, both as an geopolitically, politically, environmentally, and socially. So everything that you're witnessing is our co-creation. So if we don't like it, we change it. Now, I came out back into the world last year after doing a lot of inner work with the family of love and light. And I did some excursions to activate love portals, and I trained people on Zoom. So I did some work, but I was mostly focused on healing my own soul wounds. So I came out, and then I found out that humanity, there's a lot of people out there. I was guided to go through YouTube and find out what are other people doing. And I found a lot of stuff that I do not resonate to. And I found a lot of mistakes in the impressions of what the family of light is. And this is because of their soul wounds. So that's perfectly okay. It's just distorted perceptions, that's all it is. But there's a lot of lovely stuff that is happening there too. And one of them is, now there's like a movement now of humanity wanting to co-create the new earth. So that is very lovely. However, in order to change our reality, we first must learn to know ourselves and love ourselves so that we can be that agent of change. Because what is humanity? Humanity is made by a lot of little individuals. All 7 billion of us. So right now I am told by the family of love and light that there's over 51% of humanity that has awakened, that has come to the realization that we need to change things within ourselves and in our outer world, which is a wonderful start. So our website goes through is messages from different masters, archangels, and Elohim on what is the soul wound that is activated amongst humanity, and what are the consequences of that soul wound, and what you can do to heal it. So it's always, this is the soul wound. I'll give you an example. The soul wound of doubt and distrust. Okay, I'm going to talk of the 4 deepest soul wounds, and they call it the 4 archangels, Michael and Faith call it the 4 pillars of the tree of discord, 4 roots that are the deepest. And those are doubt and distrust. You doubt everything. Ooh, the queen of doubt and distrust, this one. If you count that I've been clearing wounds for 25 years, you could say that I've got 2 postdoctoral degrees and 3 postdoctoral degrees on soul wounds. I know soul wounds extremely well because for some crazy reason, my sentience decided to experience a lot of discord down to the lowest frequencies of fear. So that's why it's taken me 25 years to clear. Not everybody has to go through that trauma, believe me, through that intense process of clearing. It's rare. It was the choice of my soul. If I had known, I would have thought about it again. I was told it was going to be tough, but of course, I didn't believe it. So I decided to do it my way, and it was a very challenging road. Not without its beauty and without its laughter, because it's laughter and gratitude, the two virtues that have kept me going and alive. Because believe me, I tried to throw the towel about 6 times. It got so tough. And then outside, nope. My mother taught me something beautiful. She was a difficult person and a magnificent person at the same time. And she said, in life, you're going to be walking through your path, and then you won't see a rock, and then you'll hit the rock and fall in your face and smash your face, and you'll have blood all over you. What do? You get up. You wipe the blood. You straighten up. You push your shoulders back and keep walking, because there's only one way, and that's forward. So I have been practicing that. Every time a wound would be activated was a big boulder on my path, and I would be bleeding like you wouldn't believe it. And I would get up, heal it, love it, and keep on going. So what are soul wounds, and what's the mechanism of operation, and how do they affect us? So I want to give you a short version of what it is. A wound is those soul memories, for example, doubt and distrust. And it's an onion with layers and layers and layers. Every time you doubt and distrust, if you're now doubting and distrusting what I'm telling you, you have just created a new layer. Ta-da! Simples. We are powerful creator beings, right? And so we have the wounds are onions. So you can only peel the layers of the onions by raising your quotients of love, wisdom, and power, which are the 3 coefficients, the 3 things that determine your level of consciousness, the 3 energies. Love, divine wisdom, and divine power, which got nothing to do with what we call love or power in our terrestrial beingness. So you have this. What happens is that these negative thoughts or negative emotions, this discordant fear-based thoughts and emotions and words and actions, have left that trace, that imprint in your energy body. Okay? Let me start by the beginning. Your energy body is made of pure love and light. Okay? So it is programmed to function based on the high energies and the high vibration energies and the high frequencies of love and light at its maximum. That is what your I am presence is. That energy that enfolds your bodies and gives life to your soul and your bodies. It's pure love and light it's a fractal of God, Goddess. It's a fractal of Source, endowed with enormous love, unconditional divine love, which is the power of creation. And it has divine power and infinite wisdom. And so when the soul, which is an extension of your divine presence, not only one, you have many soul extensions. Your divine presence has many soul extensions. So you're one of them. Okay? Who you know you are. You're a soul, which is a soul extension of your divine presence. So when your soul decided to experience separation and to believe that it is separate from this beautiful energetic field and conscious and sentience that gives you consciousness, and you start generating discordant thoughts, fear-based words, fear-based feelings, fear-based actions, every time you do that, you create a short circuit. It's a zip. A short circuit, literally. A breach in that matrix, energy matrix of connection that connects your bodies to your divine presence. And that zip, that creates an energetic blockage. literally. So those are your soul wounds. They're energetic blockages. They're the viruses in your computer. Think of your Microsoft Word on your computer. When you have a virus, what happens? You're trying to write your book, the story of your life, the script of your life. And then the computer goes, all lines, and it starts playing up, and you go, get an axe and chop that computer. No, you take the computer to the computer doctor, and you say, please reprogram my virus. In the same way, what we are proposing in our website, in our book, and through our events is, you have these viruses, okay? And it is important that you know that in order to not get rid, but to transmute, to change the vibration from fear back to love, which is its original blueprint state, then you need to do a series of things. So that you know every single soul wound is hiding, has deactivated a virtue, a divine virtue. So the virus of doubt and distrust deactivates the virtue of faith and trust. The virus of the wounds of love, which are many, I'm unlovable, unworthiness, rejection of love, blah, blah. It's a whole package. It's a virus, but it's more like a Trojan horse with heaps of other false programs inside. So there are false programs that you need to transmute. And then all these viruses of the wounds of love then carry inside the beautiful, look at this beautiful fluorite. I love fluorite. The beautiful codes of divine love, of divine unconditional love. Okay? And then you have all this other, have many, trust me. Another one of the roots of the tree of discord are the wounds of power. Those are the ones that we're seeing in full blast all over the planet right now, especially in the northern hemisphere, which is right now pretty covered in darkness. Because where are all these wars happening? Northern hemisphere, mates. Not doing so well. So what you are witnessing right now is the wounds of power, those viruses, those Trojan horses. And the wounds of power go from abuse of power. Do you think Israel is abusing its power with the Palestinians? How about with the West Bank and the West Bank settlers? Is the United States abusing its power by providing all these weapons to continue the genocide in Gaza? Etc., etc., etc. So they are, right now, there's a lot of wounds of power that are activated for humanity. Not just for the perpetrators of all these weird things that they're doing, no, but for humanity. Because through the internet, we are witnessing in real time the most horrendous stuff that is being enacted through abuse of power, through cruelty. These are wounds. This is in the Trojan horse of the wound of power. Cruelty, mercilessness, destructiveness, hatred, amongst many others. And on the other side, that's on the side of the perpetrators, and on the side of the ones that are receiving these energies, you have victimhood, powerlessness, helplessness, despair. And so what is it that they hide? They hide the code of divine power. And divine power can only, by definition, be an energy to be used for the highest benefit of all that exists. The blue ray. So what we're saying to you is what the emissaries of love are suggesting to humanity through our website is they explain the different wounds. The fourth wound is the wound of rejection and denial. Okay? So let me find another one here. Rejection and denial. Rejection of your divinity, rejection of your state of unity, rejection of the governments, of your parents, of your blah, 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 rejection, disgust, and denial. Denial of your responsibility as a co-creator of the reality that is happening right now on Earth. So there's these 4 pillars that are anchored right now in the planet. That are activated with the deepest soul wounds of humanity, of individually and collectively being activated. And what we're suggesting is that you study, listen, read, learn, understand the information pertaining to each one of the soul wounds. And then, because the information is given with so much love, with so much compassion. It's not the teachers telling you off. On the contrary, they demystify the wounds and say, look, they're just false programs. Don't worry about it. You can swiftly and harmoniously and easily change these programs, this energy, transform it from fear back to love. It's easy. All you need to do is pay attention. Get it together and just go ahead and do it. And this is how you can do it. And this is what you can exchange. So they give you long lists of the wounds and the lists of the virtues and qualities and gifts that they are denying. So what to replace it with. So basically what they're asking you is recognize that you have wounds. Accept that you have those wounds. Intent that you are ready to embrace those wounds and transmute the discordant energy through forgiveness. The key. What are the 3 elements of forgiveness are compassion, charity, and mercy. Make up forgiveness. So it's about you feeling that compassion, charity, and mercy for the self. And forgive the self for embodying all these discordant energies in this and other life cycles, in this and other universes, times, forms, realms, levels of consciousness, and dimensions of existence. Because only through forgiveness can you shift that energy. Can you actually deprogram the virus through forgiveness. And you have to start with self-forgiveness. Because if you cannot forgive the self, there's no way you're going to forgive others. And the idea is that you forgive yourself. Not the idea. The principles is that you forgive yourself. You ask for the forgiveness of all those that you have harmed in this and other life cycles through those wounds that you're clearing and transmuting. And then you forgive all of those that harmed you through similar wounds or wounds of a similar resonance. So then, I repeat, first, you recognize, acknowledge that you have wounds. Second, you go into acceptance of those wounds, forgiveness of those wounds, which is the deprogramming, and then you release the attachment to those wounds. Because one thing that I can assure you is that we have all created an addiction. Not only there's attachment, and there's an attachment so deep, like Mr. Lord Buddha told us, attachment equals suffering. He was not kidding. He was not exaggerating. Except that we have taken attachment to a whole new level, low level of addiction to it. We're addicted to pain. We're addicted to separation. We're addicted to our wounds. And we hold on to them real tight because that's the reality we remember. We forgot that we were in oneness and that we are in oneness. Because those false programs won't let us believe it or embody it or know it rather. So then you it's important that you release the attachment, release the addiction. And for that, you cut the cords that emanate from your chakras. In the website, I put from the sacral, between the sacral and the navel and the base chakra, from the sacral. No, actually, you have cords that emanate from all of your chakras to different wounds. And you don't only have the 7 chakras, you've got a lot of chakras. So it's about cutting the cords and releasing the attachment to them. And then you feel that energy, that cords retrieving back onto your own bodies and filling you with power, with joy, with peace. So once you have released the attachment, then you reprogram. That means you replace them. You say, okay, I was suffering of judgment, criticism, and condemnation. So then I'm going to replace it with compassion, charity, and mercy. Okay, I was suffering with doubt and distrust. I'm going to replace it with faith and trust. How would you know the difference between the wounds and your virtues if you had not experienced them? This is why we came to experience separation, to learn, to evolve. And because we're suckers for punishment, I say. There's an element of morbidity and of sadomasochism in there, I'd say, that is worth clearing too. Okay, but so what we are witnessing on earth, you can change by taking responsibility for what the energy that you are generating and sending out and anchoring in the collective consciousness and all over the planet. That's one thing. So recognize, accept, forgive. Deprogram by forgiveness. Release the attachment. Break the cords that attach you to those aspects. Because they're not who you are, they're aspects. And then reprogram them with the virtues and qualities that you wish to embody. And every time you clear one layer, even one layer of discord of an aspect of a soul wound, you get closer and closer to activating this virtue within it. And you increase your quotient of love, wisdom, and power. So with every clearing, I call them clearing for instead of transmutation, as too complicated a word. Every time you clear a soul wound, you're increasing the quotients that determine your level of consciousness. Divine love, divine wisdom, divine power. You're replacing discord with divine love, divine wisdom, and divine power from your I am presence. With more faith and trust, with self-love, with self-acceptance, with acceptance of all that is, with compassion, charity, mercy, with humbleness, with joy, with peace, with respect, with discernment, with hope, with strength, with courage, with satisfaction, with generosity, with morality, with truthfulness, with integrity, with liberty, divinity, unity, and endless more beautiful virtues and qualities and gifts that we all have. Your divine presence is chakra blocks with divine love energies. So this is what we're offering in our website, and we urge you to go and visit it if you wish. It's not about darkness, this horrible thing that we hide from ourselves and others, and I don't want to go there. No, it's demystifying the darkness. Saying it's not really darkness, it's just viruses in your computer, in your main program. And every time you clear and you reactivate the virtue, you are reunifying a part of yourself with your divine presence and with all that exists. So you are reconnecting and allowing the flow of energies that this used to block. Now they flow, and you can anchor higher and higher levels of consciousness into your bodies until you merge completely with your I am presence, if that is your soul plan, if this is what you wish to do. Some souls are here just to clear enough discord so that they can have enough of that love, wisdom, and power of the divine presences to start creating change in the world. Others came to literally embody their I am presence and embody their mastery here while in the physical realm, while in the earth plane, by clearing all that discord and being the love that you are, in the divine wisdom and the divine power that you are. There's no comparison, this is better than that. No, it's just the soul plan, depending on what was the path of evolution of the soul before then until now. So what we're saying to you is, we invite you to please visit our website. Every word is a cup of energy, and every word is charged with codes, with love, with wisdom, with power, and many other virtues. And you would notice that if you read a message from one of the masters, for example, on the souls of criticism, judgment, and condemnation, for example, some things will just come out at you and whoa, will give you the aha moment. If you read it in 3 months' time, you will find other aha moments that you hadn't noticed in the same message. So I'm saying, what I am suggesting to you is that you go through that website and understand that there's an enormous amount of information in there. And information is knowledge. And knowledge develops into divine wisdom. And knowledge will help you increase your quotients of love and of power. So we suggest that you go through the messages, and you will find the three last messages are about war. When have you heard any of the people in the spiritual trip speaking about the family of love and light talking about the wars? Never. What about politics? In my experience, non-existent. There may have been, but I'm not aware of them. So in the last 3 messages, the family of love and light discusses the wounds that fuel wars. Why are we so addicted to wars? Since from immemorial, for all times, we have been warring each other forever. So it's like, why? I suggest you go and read those messages. And also, they also go in the last message through a discussion about, because there's some masters out there, some teachers, spiritual teachers, which are saying that focusing on what's happening in your outer world is very bad for you. And focusing on wars would just, where your attention goes, your energy flows, and you're just dropping your vibration and doing a huge disservice to humanity, some say. Many of them. There's not just one, there's several. So we beg to differ. We beg to differ. This part of it is true. If you only focus on the discord and react to it, you're actually adding fuel to the fire. You're increasing the quotients of discord out there. However, if you focus your attention on what's happening out there in the world, on those wars, and you see them as an opportunity for your soul to change, to evolve, and for you to do something for the highest benefit of all, because every time you clear a wound and you activate a virtue, you're lifting the discordant energy from the collective consciousness energy matrix and from everything in the world, in this planet, and beyond. So what we are saying is that this is not a time to play the ostrich and stick your head in the ground and pretend what's happening, not happening. It's an illusion. There's no illusion. 700,000 up to 1 million people have died or are maimed in Ukraine alone. 50,000 people or more have been killed in Gaza. And counting. That's without the ones that are disappeared and maimed. This is very real, what is happening on Earth. This is not a time to hide and pretend. Nothing happening here, it's an illusion. Move on. Yet, what the family of love and light are saying is, Watch. Observe. Intent that you observe, like I created this new vision of, okay, pretend you're the what do you call it? Those things. Oh, I'm trying to remember. No, the word always escapes me. You know those new engines, the UAVs that they're using in wars, those with rotating things. Be the drone in the room. Go up. All you have to do is go up a little bit, and you'll see through your divine presence's eyes what is happening. The eyes of compassion, of higher understanding, of tolerance, of love. And you observe what is happening from the drone perspective, from your divine presence's goggles and higher vision, so that you do not resonate to them. And that's very tricky. It takes a lot of practice. However, the more you practice, the better you get at it. So be the drone in the room, observe what is happening up there, and determine, scan yourself. What is this bringing up for me? What am I reacting to? How am I reacting to this? What are my thoughts, my feelings that are ensuing from this, from what I'm observing? Am I reacting with disgust? Am I reacting with rejection of the darkness in myself and others? Am I reacting with rejection of abuse of power? Am I reacting with hatred for the Israelis, Zionists? Or am I reacting with hatred for the Hamases? Am I reacting with hatred and resentment towards the Russians? Am I reacting in victimhood with the Ukrainians? What am I reacting? What are my reactions? What am I feeling? What are my thoughts? And there you will determine where your wound lies. Which one is the wounds, because it'll be plural, that it is important that you address and that you try to clear, to transmute, recover the beautiful virtues and gifts that are hidden by those wounds. And so you lift those discordant energies from the planet and you help everybody. So if you really want to help humanity, if you really want to help reduce the impacts of wars, you generate, you transmute, deprogram, forgive, release attachment, reprogram, and activate wounds. You lift discord from the collective consciousness and you anchor divine love energies. That's how you can help. You can also help, and the family of love and light say, we're not telling you to condone and to accept that it is okay for all this nonsense that is happening up there. On the contrary, we urge you to take noble action. Noble action means, and they specify it, sign petitions, write to your representatives, to your government, specify this is totally unacceptable. Our government on our behalf must not support this type of behavior by Israel, for example, just to give you one example. Or to support the United States in providing arms to Israel, or supporting the EU and the UK in sending long-range missiles to attack the territory of the Russian Federation, and then not expect escalating the war and not expect a retaliation from Russia. So it is about you taking noble action. And by noble, we mean you express your belief, your knowing that this is unacceptable, but you do it from a point of love, not from a point of fear, not from a point of anger. And for you to do that, it is important that you transmute, clear, deprogram, reprogram, and replace your wounds for your divine virtues and qualities. So that when you take noble action, you're really anchoring divine energies into the collective consciousness and into all those that are making the decisions that are driving this planet into a whole. So we urge you to look in our website to those last 3 messages on the war issues. They're very interesting. And you will see then that what I have been offering is a totally different view of what the family of love and light is. On the one hand, they're the activists, the environmental activists, the whistleblowers that brought out a huge international diplomatic scandal, which I suggest you read, you watch my previous videos on that, on the Ascended Master whistleblower. And then I'm showing you the masters that are very politically active. So all of you spiritual beings out there that are saying, oh, politics, oh, no. Nothing to do with politics with me. Niet. Nada. Rien du tout. I don't want to know about politics. Sorry, guys. Every time you breathe in this planet, every time you think, you are doing politics and affecting politics. So I am presenting a very different version of what the family of love and light are. They're not airy fairy out there. Oh, we love you. Oh, yeah, they love us. Oh, my God. The love you receive, the peace you receive, the compassion, the understanding. I adore them. I adore them. They are so divine. And they're one with us. They're in our heart. You cannot reach them through your mind. People say, oh, the great intelligence of the universe. Yeah, there is a great intelligence. But the real powerhouse is the heart, is the love of this cosmos, of this source, is love. The mind, that great intelligence, I compare it to the gearbox in your evolutionary vehicle. And the motor that has the energy that powers the vehicle of evolution and consciousness is the love, the heart, not the mind. It is the heart. It is the love that is the propulsing energy for this vehicle, and the mind determines the direction and the intention. So I rest my case. Please visit our website. It is really worthwhile, and it can change your life, and it will certainly change reality on earth, this is what it's all about. And we thank you and we bless you for your attention. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be. May we co-create peace on earth. May we co-create that divine new earth, that divine reality. We're only planting the seeds. This is going to take 150 to 200 years for the real change in the collective consciousness of humanity. But we need to start somewhere. So sowing the seeds in the collective consciousness through this knowledge, through the codes. So we bless you. And the more people do it, the sooner we'll get there. God bless you. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be. I am Ama'RiAl, and I speak to you on behalf of the family of love and light, especially of the higher council of water beings, and of my spiritual guides, beloved Lord Maitreya, beloved Lord Sananda, and beloved Saint Germain, that have been overlighting my evolution in this life cycle. I love you. Blessed be. Good luck, people. Come on and visit us. Our website is called embodyhighconsciousness.com. Bless you. Bye.